This video represents a short, quick and dirty demonstration of how to do certain things in Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel. I will not spend a lot of time on these issues. They are not necessarily the approved way, and they are perhaps not the only way of doing things, but I will show you the way I do things. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you the help function. I'm going to put my cursor over there to the left of M, just hit enter a couple of times, click to the top again, and now I have space to work in. I will find the help button at the top and to the far left, and it will open this page for me. Having opened, I need to be online for this kind of help function. Let's say I want to create a graph, and I just type in how to create a graph or create a graph, and it'll bring up a number of options for me. Add a chart to your document in Word, and I can click on, let's say, that option there. I may click on any of the other options, and it'll give me basic instructions as to how to do that. We're going to learn how to access a video via YouTube, and then at the same time adjust the speed so that we are able to listen carefully or follow along according to our own speed. You can hear that particular video goes at a fairly quick pace. So if I want to change the pace, I'm going to go to settings at the bottom there, and now I can add subtitles if I really wanted to. So I can put subtitles on in English. It'll give me some idea as to what's being said, and I can also customize the playback speed. So if I wanted something slower than the normal, I'd go 0.75 or even 0.5, and if I play now, that will play slower. In terms of my learning, I could catch the words a lot quicker. If I am fairly clear on what I'm listening to and I want to go through this video relatively fast, I can go to 1.5, 1.75 or 2 perhaps, and basically just cover all that needs to get done. So basically that is how I may play the video. Some videos have some kind of indication as to what's in the video. If I scroll along that way, I may find subsections to the video. That way I can learn the things that I want to learn and not necessarily that which the video presents. I want to set up my computer so that I am able to find the buttons that I need to find very quickly. And this quick access toolbar at the very top allows me to do that. Now I can customize what goes onto this toolbar. In my case here, I've got a new document, open, close, save, save as. Then I've got a cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, paintbrush, print, and print preview. Now the way, and I found those to be helpful for me in the operation or the working of Microsoft Word. The way to customize that is basically click on that button at the bottom there, and you will find more commands at the bottom. So you can see in this window, these are the available from the quick access toolbar. They are available, and they are popular commands. Whatever presents on the right here, those are the ones that will show up top left here. So if I were to add this one, delete comment, and I add that, it's going to show up on the right here. And at the bottom, I can move that to the top, for instance, to, let's say, just after close file, and if I OK that, now it should present at the top there, and there it is. You can't see that clearly, but that's where it is. If I wanted to remove that, click that bottom again, more commands, and now if I click on it, I can remove it and OK that button. All right, so as soon as I OK that button, that will update at the top left as well. Now these are the popular commands, and you can scroll down and find many different kinds of commands there. But sometimes you will find that there's a command there that is not popular, but you would like to use it. So then you need to go to all commands, basically all commands. And if I click on all commands, then it's going to open up an entire list of things that Microsoft Word does. The same applies to Microsoft Excel. So you can find something that basically does what you want to do, let's say all caps. If you add that, it'll feature there, depending on where I've put my cursor on the right. And if I were to OK that right now, it will feature top left. To remove that, I'm basically going to click on the button that I want to remove and just hit remove and OK that, and it should reflect my desired top left there. I want to give a file a name. And so the way to do that is, let's say I have a file that's open like that. I want to give it a name. Now I have save as at the top there. I could also go file and save as here, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go save as, and now it's going to find a spot either on my computer or it's going to find a spot in terms of my online connectivity. So in this instance, I've connected with Google Drive and I found that particular folder, and now I'm going to just give it a name, example, like that, and one, and it's a Word document. If I wanted to do a PDF document, save this as PDF, I can just click on that little down arrow and find PDF, or an XPS document, which is basically equivalent to a PDF, and then that will save as a PDF document for me. Alternatively, I have it as a Word document, example one. I just click save, and now this document will reflect at the top there. That is the name of the document. Every time I make a change to this document, I may want to save that. So I can then just click save at the top, or there is a setting in which I can do an auto save, right? So that's how you name a document. I want to split my screens on my computer, especially if I work on a laptop or use only one screen, that I might want to split the screens so that I could view two types of information at the same time, or potentially view information on the left and type on the right, or vice versa. The way I do that is simply by clicking the Windows button on my keyboard and the left button, let's say left or right, and then it gives me options on the right as to what else I would like to see. And let's say I would like to see this particular video, right? Then I just click on that video and it'll give me the options. It will open up that video for me. Now, if I use my cursor to create that little arrow left and right, I can move the size of each of these screens. Let's say I just want to have a small video and a big document, then that's the way I do it. At the bottom right here, I can increase the size of the Word document that I see, or I can decrease it by clicking on the left. The way to get out of that is basically just to highlight that section there at the top and to click on it. Alternatively, I may actually open 3 or 4 different screens depending on how I want to do things. Let's say I choose that option there, and so now I have 3 options. There's a Word document, there's an Excel document, or there's a YouTube document, and I can basically have 3 documents open at the same time. The way I did that was I went to that particular button and I selected any one of those options. Now I want to change the name of a document. This document on the right is called example 1, and it's in our directory which we have created on our computer or online. If I want to change the name of this document, I have to first close it before I can change it. Alternatively, I may copy it, right click, copy, and control V for paste. Now I have a copy of that and I can rename the copy into anything that I would like to do. Anyone at the top there, you'll find a rename option. Okay, and if I click on rename, now I can call this document example 1A, for instance. And as soon as I hit enter, that now is a document that is 1A. That document is not open. The document that is open for us is still document 1. That is the way we change the name of a document in both Excel and Microsoft Word. How do we change the styles of a document? This is the section at the top here. So I'll open up another document for us, and we'll look at this particular document, which is all written in a particular style. The style in which it is written is has this is highlighted at the top here under the section styles, and that is to be found on the home tab, basically. All right, so I can change a lot about the typesetting or the font by simply going on the top left here, finding a typesetting that I quite like, and then basically just clicking on that. So I have to highlight something before I can change it. I highlight it, I find a typesetting, and it may be that one there, and I can change the size of it into something like that, for instance. Okay, if I right click on this, I can also find some other formatting sessions before, for instance, the spacing before or after. I might change that to a 2 as well, and I may change this to, let's say, 1.5 line spacing. And now what I will find is 2 points. If I OK that, I will find 1.5 line spacing, and I'll find 2 points before that paragraph and 2 points after that paragraph. Right, now that I can do manually, so I can change. I've highlighted this section here, and I can change it back to whatever I want it to be. That one there, and this is the size that I want it to be in. Right click, go paragraph, and I want this in a single spacing, for instance, or I want that in 1.05, for instance, and I OK that, and then that's my typesetting there. The other way of doing this is by naming this section according to a certain style. So currently it's named normal, and any section or any paragraph that is named normal will carry the rules for this particular, for normal, for instance. So if I want to name something normal, I highlight it and I click on it, and now did you see that the typesetting changed to normal? I'll just undo that. And so it used to be that was the font or the typesetting and that size, but as soon as I highlighted it and I clicked normal, I essentially named it normal. Right, now I can change what normal looks like by right clicking, modify, and let's say I want to have Arial Black as my typesetting for normal, and it has to be in, let's say, 14, and I want it to be in light blue. Right, now if I OK that, anything that is named normal will carry that set of rules. Right, so let's say this section here is not named normal. I will highlight it and click on normal, and then it will adopt the rules for normal. I can change normal back to whatever I want that to be, highlight that, right click, modify, and again I can go back to automatic or to black, and let's say I want a different typesetting, that one there, 12, and I can go format, paragraph, and I can say I would like a 1.05 in that, and an after of, let's say, 12, and a before of, let's say, 6 points. Right, and if I OK that, anything that is named normal will adopt those rules. Okay, so you can see that we can easily change that. Now if I wanted a heading, let's say a summary, then that I could give summary or headings a certain tag or a certain name as well. So I highlight summary and I give it heading 1 name. And in this instance, heading 1 is already numbered. I can change the rules for heading 1 by right clicking, modify, And now that's the example of what it will reflect as, right? So I can change this to Arial Black, let's say, and let's say 16, and you can see it is indented. I can shift it back that way. I can also go Format, change the numbering of this to, let's say, another numbering that I prefer. Maybe it is this Romans numbers, and I click on that and I OK that, and now it will adopt everything that is named. Heading 1 will adopt those rules. Let's say introduction, I OK that, introduction, and if I just type it out like that, it will assume the normal set of rules. But if I highlight it and allocate it to heading 1 by clicking on there, now what I have is I have introduction having adopted the rules for heading 1, right? So I can do the same with heading 2, heading 3, etc., etc. When I insert in an index, for instance, that index will read that this is summary. This summary is a heading 1, and therefore it will present it in the index. If I do that now, I can go to References, Table, Table of Contents, for instance, and there it has read that the ones that are heading 1 should be in the Table of Contents. Now, if I right click on Table of Contents and I edit this field, I can tell it, going to Table of Contents, TOC, Table of Contents, I can tell it how far to drill down. 1, 2, 3 heading levels. So that is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, or just 2, and I can OK that. For instance, if I were to now create heading 2, let's say first example, and I were to name that a heading 2 at the top right there, I can name that a heading 2, and this one below it is second example. And I also name it heading 2. When I update my table of contents by right-clicking, update field, that's it. It's going to give me 2 levels because I told it before. And I did that by right-clicking, edit field, went down to table of contents, 2 levels. I wanted it to drill down. Now I can change the rules for how heading 1 and heading 2 is presented by clicking on modify, and in this instance table 2, modify. I can see that it has quite a big spacing between them, so I go format, paragraph, and that's the reason for it. So I don't want that much space. I maybe just want 1 point space between the 2 headings, and that seems to be okay for me. There's a left indentation, and I'm okay with that. So I go okay and okay, and once more okay and okay. And now that table of contents has replaced the previous one. I have effectively formatted the table of contents according to my liking. If I were to click on the left of that and go insert page break, now I will find that on a new page altogether. Now watch this. So this is page 1, this is page 2. You can see that currently it presents as all the text is on page 1, but that is not yet updated because I moved everything to page 2. So if I right click on there and I do update field and I ask it to update, then it actually presents the correct number of the page on which I have the text now. I want to format something that is already, I want to format another section that is from a previous section that I had formatted. Let's say I want to format this section to look exactly the same as this section here. There is a simple way of doing that. I could either highlight this section here and allocate to it this particular highlight option, right? And go yellow there, right? Or alternatively, I may just highlight this section here or a part of that section and go to my paintbrush. As I click on the paintbrush, it now assumes that whatever I click on next needs to have exactly the same formatting as that. So I can now highlight this section here, and it has adopted exactly the same rules as before. Next, I want to look at how to format a particular section by allocating a footnote to it. So typically, if we want to give credit to some other source, let's say I have this section here, I've written something there, and I want to give credit to a newspaper or a particular source, I will click at the end of that. That is before the full stop at the end, or the period in American terms. Between the T and the full stop, I will click between them. Then I will go insert. I will go reference. And from there, I will find insert footnote. And now it creates a link between there, that section there, and at the bottom here, and you can see it has allocated a number, and I will say source, and this will be, let's say Ibis World, because that's where I got my information from. And now I have properly credited the source of my information, and it looks very neat to have done so.